experience I had, and I'm going to read it so I stay on topic. So, on June 16th, 2016, a little more than a year since I had had my left hip replaced and recovered from that, I tripped while I was walking my dog and broke my left knee. Left and left, yes. Because of that injury, I had to have emergency surgery, which resulted in 2 steel plates, 6 screws being used to put my leg back together. Not only was it extremely painful, but it required a long recovery. 3 months of non-weight bearing and physical therapy 3 times a week. I was facing this lengthy recovery after just getting to the point of feeling 100% after my hip surgery the year before. My first reactions to the reality of my situation were sadness, fear, and especially anger. I'm a very independent, active, and involved kind of person, always busy. Obviously, I would need to make some adjustments, like giving up working out for a while, as well as driving. Anything I tried to continue doing, I would need to do with crutches, or a wheelchair, or a walker. And I would need to ask people for rides and other types of assistance. My temporary loss of independence was very hard to accept, and I couldn't help but feel victimized by it. I certainly had some work to do in order to move forward. I needed to change my mindset and figure out how to leave all this sadness, fear, and anger behind. It took some inner work, to be sure. I called upon my Science of Mind resources, prayer, practitioner support, and some little mind shakers of my own that I have learned along the way. As a spiritually minded person, I knew I needed to find the truth about this situation. I started to remember that the universe is for me and not against me, and that God and I are one, and that God is on the case for good always, that every person I meet has the face of God. I called up my favorite affirmation, which always gets my attention. I am always in the right place at the right time, doing and saying the right things to the right people, and I am in the flow of life. Yes, I realized I was right where I was supposed to be, and that there was an opportunity here to see life from a different angle and have some valuable experiences. By changing my mindset, I was able to move into gratitude. I was able to notice and appreciate the abundance of kindness that was coming my way from family, friends, and even perfect strangers. I was giving people an opportunity to show the best side of themselves. People showed up, sometimes seemingly out of nowhere, to help me up the steps, or carry my bags and packages, or give me a ride. I also started appreciating having to slow down a little bit. I think I needed to do that too. Stop and smell the flowers, sit on my deck and drink a cup of coffee or have a glass of wine and watch the sunrise or the sunset or my dogs running around the yard. I still had to go through that long recovery and physical therapy, but because I was able to leave fear and sadness and anger behind most of the time, I was able to change how I experienced it. I could experience and appreciate kindness, love, my own resilience, and even the joy of living at the same time. By releasing the boundaries of my negative thinking, I was able to move into the truth of who I am and my connection to God and everyone.
What I love, Leslie, is that you were honest about, the anger and the fear and the place that you went, and then what the tools that you used to help you break through that. I'm very big on us admitting the fact that 24/7 we don't always live there. We do fall into anger and fear, but what the trick is, not that we fall into it, the trick is what do we do about it, and your story very well reflected that. So thank you very much. Every week there will be a personal story from someone in the congregation, because I think it's a very powerful thing. So let me just give you this analogy. It's the last basic point here I have. Think about a literal spaceship getting ready to launch. And think about how it's being held up by metal structures, which serve it very, very well while it's holding still and while everything is taking place. But when that spaceship is getting ready to launch, a couple of things happen. First, there has to be a ton of firepower to get that sucker to move. A ton of firepower. I mean, if anyone's ever seen it up close or even on the TV, you can just see the big firepower. And as that thing begins to move and shake, those brackets or those structures that are holding it in place must break away in order for it to fly and get out of the Earth's atmosphere. The analogy helps me remember that, same for us, that what might serve me today might not serve me when I want to launch to infinity and beyond. And when we start any new practice, we need a lot of firepower. We need a lot of study. We need a lot of talks. We need a lot of affirmations. We need a lot of prayer. We need a lot of firepower, just like the spaceship, to get us launched. And the structures that were holding us up, we no longer need them, must break away in order for us to soar. Once that spaceship gets far enough where it passes on the other side of the Earth's atmosphere, some of the firepower can now fall away. And it's a gentler firepower. It still has to be powered, but it doesn't need the intensity that it needs to get out. And it's free out there in space now, and it can navigate freely. That's how you and I are when we take on any new level of what we're doing now, abundance. We need the firepower, we need all the work and help we can get to get us launched. We need the old structures and boundaries to fall away, but when we get past a certain point, it now gets easier. And our firepower is gentler, and it's a reminder to ourselves, and we navigate a little bit easier. If you're feeling like, oh my goodness, this is so much work to do, to live as an abundant being, remember that once you get past that certain point, it will become easier. And if you ask the people in the spaceship, they want the firepower that it takes at the beginning to get them to there. So it's worth it for us on an individual level to put in the work, to put in the time, to put in the firepower to get us launched out to the infinity place where we want to be. So we're living that abundant life. Next week, I will talk much more for those of you who like the how-tos. Next week is your week, the how to do this. The tools, the step-by-step kind of thing. This is your week next week. For this week, let's focus on releasing the thoughts, the habits that don't serve me, embracing the ones that I want to be my truth, and standing in the presence to just say, let me just be it. Let's close our eyes together. Let's be it right now, to the degree that we can. With our eyes closed, we open our mind and expand it to understand the spirit that we are. This one source everywhere present must mean where I am, must mean where we are. The givingness of the divine has no limitations. It is infinite. That infinity is not out there somewhere. That infinity is right here. And so all that we are must be part of that one infinite spiritual source. That presence moves in and through us as we allow it to. Knowing fully that we are spiritual beings, I also claim for us that our part is to do what we need to release the block. And what I know for us this day is that today we release the blocks like we never have before. We do not need them any longer. They were incorrect notions to begin with. And so as we each release the blocks, we allow the flow of good to come into our experience easy and effortless. That's what I know for us. We open our mind, we open our heart, we learn, we evolve, and we live from this abundant place. I know for each of us that as we move into the beingness of abundance, that the Spirit is right here with us saying yes. There is no block to it. There is only the yes. And so I'm knowing that this week we easily release that which no longer serves us. We gratefully embrace that which we truly are. And we be the spirit that we were born to be. we be it in brand new ways. And